An illegal biolab with reported ties to China has been discovered in California. According to a report issued by the CDC, officials have concluded that the lab, hidden inside a disused warehouse in Reedley, California, was harboring an array of infectious agents, including COVID-19, along with malaria, E.Coli, pneumonia, HIV, hepatitis, and rubella. Bodily fluids, blood, tissue samples, and thousands of other vials of unlabeled substances were uncovered, along with nearly 1,000 lab mice, 200 of which were dead. Why was this lab hidden inside an otherwise vacant warehouse? What were they producing or testing there? And who were the people running it? As more and more information on this illegal and secretive operation emerges, the more disturbing the story becomes. Universal Meditech, the company behind the illegal lab, was a producer of home-based medical testing equipment, such as pregnancy tests and later COVID tests. The documented history of the company dates back to its founding in 2015. That year, the company initially established an office in Tulare, California, and would eventually move to a new location on East Fortune Avenue in Fresno in 2019. In August of 2020, a fire broke out at the company's Fresno office, and upon investigation into the cause, officials did not discover any illegal activity, though the cause of the fire was never determined. While the company remained at that location after the fire, reportedly mounting legal issues led to the company initiating bankruptcy proceedings in October of 2022, though actual bankruptcy documents were never filed. That same month, the supposedly bankrupt Universal Meditech transferred its assets to a Nevada-based company established in 2019 by the name of Prestige Biotech. Prestige Biotech, which was listed as a creditor to Universal Meditech, took over the Fresno location and then proceeded to sign a temporary lease with a cabinet company for warehouse space in Reedley, California. On October 31st, 2022, the City of Fresno Code Enforcement contacted the Fresno County Department of Public Health, prompting an investigation into chemicals being stored at the company's Fresno office on Fortune Avenue. When officials attempted to contact company managers requesting information, the company suspiciously cut off contact and immediately moved out of the office, which was confirmed by the property owner. At this point, authorities lost track of the company. In late December of 2022, a code enforcement agent in Reedley noticed a garden hose coming out of the back of a vacant warehouse building. When the agent was unable to find an active business permit for that location, she alerted authorities. In March of 2022, officials gained access to the operation, where they uncovered an illegal biolab hidden inside the disused warehouse. Inside the lab, officials discovered thousands of improperly stored vials of hazardous and dangerous substances, prompting an investigation by the CDC. Official CDC reports detail an array of infectious diseases that were found, including COVID-19, malaria, HIV, pneumonia, rubella, and hepatitis, among others. Bodily fluids, tissue samples, and thousands of other vials of unlabeled substances were also uncovered, along with nearly 1,000 lab mice that had been genetically engineered to contract and carry the COVID virus. While searching the unsanitary and disheveled lab, investigators also discovered more than 30 refrigerators, thousands of boxes with shipping labels indicating China as their origin, along with evidence of illegal makeshift electrical work. It was also noted that the lab was thought to have illegally disposed of hazardous and potentially infectious waste improperly, posing a notable risk to the public. Local officials were reportedly instructed by California state officials to keep their findings in the lab quiet, though it's not clear as to why. It wasn't until 5 months later that public information as to what had been found at the lab became available, prompting outrage among the public and fueling the fire of glaring distrust that characterizes the US government's relationship with US citizens. When news of the lab, its raid, and ultimate shutdown came to light through an article published by the Mid-Valley Times in late July 2023, fingers immediately pointed to those that were operating the lab. Investigators quickly noted that Prestige Biotech, the successor to the defunct Universal Meditech, was a Nevada-based company who was not licensed to operate a medical lab in the state of California. The company's address in Nevada, however, led investigators to a vacant storefront in a strip mall in Las Vegas. Other addresses that paperwork linked to the company were found to be unverifiable addresses in China. Though investigators were able to make contact with Prestige Biotech representatives, those individuals have largely refused to cooperate and have been evasive to questioning. Further, the managers, who are believed to be Chinese nationals, have only been willing to communicate through email on the Baidu platform, which is essentially China's version of Google. There are so many questions that remain unanswered, and new information seems to be emerging every day. Is the Chinese government involved? What was the nature of testing being conducted at the lab? Why was the lab located in Reedley, California, specifically in a vacant building? Is it any coincidence that the lab was located a mere 45 minutes from Lemoore Naval Air Station, which would be a critical defense hub for the US in the event of a conflict with China? Were the people operating the lab Chinese nationals? And if so, were they in the United States legally? What was the nature of the alleged illegal disposal of waste? Is or was there any threat to the public? Why wasn't the public informed of the discovery of this lab back in March? Why were local officials told to keep quiet? And how many other illegal labs are there within the US and around the world? Let's add another consideration to the mix here. Right around the time that the Mid-Valley Times article broke, news outlets began reporting about a mystery company by the name of Flannery Associates that had purchased more than $800 million of real estate around the Travis Air Force Base in California. U.S. regulatory agencies did not know what the company's intentions are for the land, which is zoned for agricultural use, but the scale of investment and the precise location are cause for concern. Among those close to the investigation, it's widely believed that the company has potential ties to China. In 2022, another Chinese company purchased more than 300 acres of land near the Grand Forks Air Force Base in North Dakota. The city council, responding to local backlash, voted to shut the project down amid national security concerns. And in Michigan, China-based company Gotion has proposed plans to build an electric vehicle battery plant in the township of Green Charter, which has been halted due to similar security concerns. The site of the proposed plant is near Camp Grayling, which is where the US is training the Taiwanese military. Overall, more than 380,000 acres of agricultural land in the United States are controlled by Chinese-owned companies. One would think that most people in the world today, having navigated the COVID pandemic that killed millions of people globally over the last few years, would be concerned by the discovery of this lab. And while it's remotely possible that activities that went on in this lab were supportive of the company's business, as the managers claim, the circumstances of discovery, the filthy conditions, and the secretive and evasive behavior of company managers are cause for suspicion. Against the backdrop of strained relations between the US and China, along with recent incidents such as high-profile data breaches, the weather balloon debacle, and an odd pattern of strategic investments on US soil, the discovery of an underground lab full of hazardous chemicals, viruses, and bacteria may point to more nefarious intent. Its potential implications for public health and the national security of the United States should be deeply disturbing, not just to US citizens, but to everyone on Earth. We want to know what you think. Please leave a comment and share your thoughts, ideas, and concerns. Feel free to share this video with your friends, family, and anyone else you think might find it interesting. My name is Scott, and thank you so much for watching. We are Mystery Syndicate. If you like what we do, please consider subscribing to our YouTube channel. Leave a comment and give this video a like. And to be notified when we post new videos, hit that notification bell. Also, check us out on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and Patreon. And for exclusive merchandise, visit our website at www.mysterysyndicate.com. From all of us at Mystery Syndicate, thank you again. We sincerely appreciate your support.